today. I know it's super late. I've had nothing but like technical issues and lighting issues and all kinds of things trying to go live for y'all today. Mercury's in retrograde. So what else would we expect? But there is a new moon in Cancer that basically, I mean, technically was exact at like 2:30 this morning. But energy is still very much with us. And, you know, I always like to be live here with y'all whenever there's a new moon or a full moon. So I am in my new house in Southwest Florida. But as some of y'all know, I've been dealing with this crazy moving company situation. So I still have none of my stuff. So I don't yet have a studio or a Babe Cave or anything to film in, but here we are. Hi. And I wanted to get some messages to you guys for this new moon. Not that this new moon is super huge energy or anything like that. I mean, they're all important, don't get me wrong. Especially whenever the moon happens in Cancer, right? It's Cancer season. This is a new moon in Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by the moon, just like Leo is ruled by the sun. So that's always sort of valid, right? But tomorrow, the 15th through the 25th of July, this is the time period that we've been waiting for and talking about for years now. I've been getting downloads and visions and stuff about it since 2022. It was predicted by lots of other prophets and oracles and psychics and all kinds of people. There's a big event that is going to start tomorrow, July 15th. So from the 15th through the 25th. And we call it Bardot's basket or cradle. The reason is because Bardot, who was like a French astrologer and sort of prophet, who predicted things like the fall of the Berlin Wall, predicted COVID, all kinds of things that have already happened and were super accurate. Like over 40 years ago, had made predictions about July 2026. And now here we are. So the reason it is so significant is all sort of wrapped around the number 4. So if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I turned 44 last August on the 13th. 13 in numerology is a 4. Happy new moon, good to see you. And ever since I did, I started seeing the number 4 or 444 or 44 absolutely everywhere for nearly a year now. And I couldn't figure out why. Now I know. It's kind of crazy that my birthday is like a numerological 4. I am 44, and this is all about 4s. But there are 4 planets that are going to aspect one another at exactly 4 degrees. And 4 is a very sacred number anyway, right? We're talking like sacred geometry. Like Pythagoras said that the number 4 was perfect. It's the most perfect number. There are 4 seasons. There's 4 elements. There are 4 cardinal directions. There are 4 phases of the moon. So, you know, take that or leave it, however it resonates for you. There are 4 likes on my channel at this moment on this live. Crazy shit. But 4 is a number of stability and security, but more importantly for the era we're in right now, it is a number of building a new foundation, right? Because over the next 10 days, is it heavy 4th house? Okay, that's Cancer ruled, and this is a Cancer new moon. 4th house is about home and family. So, you know, the next 10 days are the awakening of the masses, the reset of civilization, okay? And we are going to build a brand new reality in this time. So I know during a new moon, I always say during a new moon we draw in, during a full moon we release or let go, right? You guys know I've always said that. But this new moon in particular, what I really want you all to be inherently aware of is that every thought you have, every word that you're speaking, every action you're taking, if it's allowing yourself to stay in toxic relationships or you know, jobs that have been, you know, super toxic, and bosses that are not valuing you or seeing your light and your worth, whatever it may be, you know, that the action of staying in those kinds of situations is now going to have an expansive and very real impact on your life, okay? Every day, we are going to create the world that we want to live in as a collective from here on out, from this moment on, right? But particularly over the next 10 days. This is the first time in human history that there will ever have been a reset of civilization like this. Astrologically, this has never happened before. And spiritually, right, we've always known that this was an experiment to see if humans on Earth could ascend from 3D into 5D consciousness. So this is unprecedented, and the whole universe is watching us like we were the final episode of friggin', what's that show everybody talks about, Love Island or some shit. I don't have TV, I haven't had it in years, so forgive me. Everybody's watching us, all right? This is a test, this is an experiment to see if we can do it. And we absolutely can do it. The question is, what is the reality that we are going to choose to live in, right? It's not like over the next couple of days, we're just gonna beam into utopia. That's not gonna happen. But we are laying the foundation of what our reality is going to be. Okay, thank you, that's very kind. So I want you to be inherently aware of that. And I also want you to be remember that 5D consciousness, 4D was all about time. And I know y'all will agree with me that time's been wonky, right? It's been going by fast and just been weird. It's only going to accelerate. It's going to go by much faster, especially from now till like October, November. But 4D is about time. 5D is about collective consciousness. So what does that mean? It means understanding and living and making all decisions based on the fact that you know that every single one of us are one and the same, right? We are the spark of the same source. So what happens to one of us happens to all of us. And that includes animals, right? And Earth itself, Mother Earth, herself. And how connected we all are is the theme. So what I highly recommend to everybody when you're drawing in, doing intention setting for this particular new moon, that you ask, what is it I can do for the collective, not just me, because if you have a dream life and all of the abundance and happiness and peace you've ever wanted in a collective consciousness world, that would then trickle down to everybody else. We all rise together, okay? So over the next 10 days, especially right around 24th, 25th, 26th, things may get a little crazy. All right, we may see some things that may have some people feeling like, is this the end of the world, right? It may get a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie. No, it's not the end of the world in that way, but I will say it's the end of the world as we've known it, okay? REM. Things will never look the same again, and that's okay. Probably better than okay, right? Because how amazing have things been looking recently? Not very. Am I wrong? Okay, so with that being said, hell yeah, bring the pizza. Bring the pizza. I would, but I am no longer in the greatest pizza capital in the world. I now live in Southwest Florida. It is not the same. Pizza is not the same here. All right, y'all. Let's get into your reading. I'm gonna start posting sign by sign. Actually, it's not gonna be sign by sign. I have a new idea that was given to me. I was guided by spirit, but I am gonna be posting messages. You will be guided to the one that is meant for you. I promise you'll see what I'm talking about. But starting tomorrow, over the next 10 days, I'm gonna be posting a lot about the reset so that you can get all the guidance that you need, okay? What is the archetype of the collective right now, please? Me the collective. I feel like there's another one. Give me a sec. I cannot wait to have my studio set up, y'all. It took so long to get this set up, and then my ring light broke like at the last minute, right when I was about to hit live. It fell over, and I was like, cool, start over. So I apologize for being late, but I cannot wait to have my studio set up here. Driving me crazy. Ooh, okay. All right, we already got some big messages. So we have the healer. Obviously, if you are on my channel, you are already an awakened starseed and you know it. And that means a lot of you will take on the role of being a healer. We have the Queen, divine feminine energy, big time coming through there, which is very Cancerian, I have to say. Wow, and the Maiden. That one I didn't expect. All right, the Maiden, the Queen, the Maiden, the Healer. Very divine feminine energy to start here. There's no doubt about that. Y'all forgive me, but I have got to put this hair up. It's driving me insane. It's, you know, it's humid Southwest Florida in July. And I would love to be filming this outside on my beautiful lanai by my pretty pool, but I just don't have the equipment yet. So this is a very divine feminine energy, right? Cancer energy, Cancerian energy is very divine feminine too. It's about healing. It's about home and family and sort of nesting, setting up a new home, which is funny considering the position I find myself in. Remember, Cancer is also ruled by the moon, like I said. So very relevant to a new moon, but that's also about healing. You know, it's about like purifying and healing. It's kind of what water does. Cancer is a water sign. So I'm feeling a lot of that here, like a lot of divine feminine energy. A lot of y'all may be moving or having a desire to kind of change up your environment and you know, your home, something like that, or doing like a lot of healing work right now. But let's read the Queen. Let's read the Queen card. I feel like that's the one to start with for some reason. But we're just gonna kind of roll with it right now. That's how this is gonna be. Because it is unprecedented, right? I've never lived through an era like this. No other astrologer or psychic or anything has either. So it's gonna be interesting. I do have a video I wanna recommend to y'all, though I will share it on my channel, from Jimmy from the Tarot Ship, who is fantastic. He's got an amazing video out about the Great Reset that I'd really like for y'all to see. So I'm gonna share that with you. The Queen, the Mother, the Sovereign, the Empress. Like her counterpart, the King, the Queen has a dualistic nature. Either she presides over the realm with grace and eloquence that comes from the heavens to uplift the spirit of others, or she falls into petty, contemptuous moods, casting a shadow across the land. If the King is the ego, the Queen is the expression of that ego. She is the lotus's bloom, the dancer's bow, the moon's radiant reflection. When the Queen is seated in her rightful and righteous place, she is patient and forgiving. She waits for the grace of God and Goddess to move through her, striving and grasping for nothing. To be the benevolent leader, to embody the Queen, is to settle into deep trust, resolve, and power. The royal Queen fears nothing, for divinity itself cradles her heart. The Go Deeper, I love this. I'm a huge Nina Simone fan, and the Go Deeper says Nina Simone singing Stars at the 1976 Montreux Jazz Festival. So look that up. What else does it say? The Queen does not accept the hand of a prince, but claims the throne, knowing the King draws near. She is a magnet for the fully embodied masculine and entertains nothing less. That is a value and a lesson in self-worth, ladies. If any ladies are on here and single, if they ain't showing up as a king, don't entertain it. We attract, we don't chase, y'all, right? All right, where is the Maiden? Want to see the Maiden, and it doesn't want to see me. All right, well, the Healer came up, so we're gonna roll with it, right? This is the Healer card. Light worker, the gifted, the old soul. Though some claim the work of the healer as their gift and name it as their dharma, the force of this archetype is within everyone. It's our natural inclination to remember, to return to, and to reclaim that central and eternal life force from which we so easily drift away. In Sanskrit, the word avidya means forgetting, and it is said that this is the source of all suffering and disease. The healer's mission then becomes to move through the comfort of forgetting, through the veils of ignorance and denial, to reveal the radiance that already exists. The healer approaches this in multiple ways, from multiple angles, knowing the cycle of healing is not linear. It is a multi-layered and circuitous process, always leading back to its own origin. Okay. So Chiron just moved into Taurus. Chiron moves very slowly. It stays in a sign for a long time. Chiron is the wounded healer in our birth charts, right, astrologically. I happen to have a Chiron in Taurus. I'm very interested to see what this is all going to bring into my life with all the fours and the other bullshit all happening at once. And it's almost my season and blah, 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 I'm a Leo. But the wounded healer is like, it's like our ability to be able to see the wounds in us that could be even from other lives or from this one and integrate them into our being in a healed way. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know. 77 is the maiden. 77, double 7. Play that number, buy a scratch off. I don't know. The maiden archetype is the epitome of innocent arousal, naive sensuality, and precarious purity. She is compelling and addictive because of her flawless and youthful glow. She's the first archetype in the trifecta of maiden mother crone, and rightfully so because she has oh so much to learn. The maiden is perfectly positioned for trouble to come her way and subject her to a challenge that leads to the next phase, which would be motherhood. She must grow up, yet hesitates at the threshold, enamored by the charms of youth. The maiden represents the side of us that is riveted and curious, drawn to shadowy forests, dark nights, nights with a K, by the way, and taking just one taste of poisonous fruit. Her magic is edgy and includes both shame and delight. Let yourself fall down the rabbit hole, young one. It's very Alice in Wonderland, if you ask me. Moving from the maiden to the mother is challenging, often leaving unresolved tension between the two archetypes for years, if not a lifetime. Do you long to be rescued by another or receive a kiss that brings you back to life? Be wary of waiting for a prince and break the spell of your own life. Now that ties back to the queen for me. Some of y'all have some major healing to do here with past life shit, or just not having enough faith and trust in yourself is what I'm hearing. Like, you need to know that you don't need a knight to come rescue you. I'm getting such pretty woman vibes right now. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I am. You can heal and rescue yourself. You are the queen. You can ascend the throne without a king, right? And then your king will arrive. We attract, we don't chase. It's the same kind of energy. But it's about kind of trusting yourself and knowing that you possess everything you need to reset, right? To have this new maiden energy, right? Like I am technically in my crone era. Ew, but I am. But with the reset, I get the opportunity to kind of get into maiden energy again, right? So the question that needs to be on your mind right now is, what is your reset gonna look like? You have a chance that most humans will never get to have, to literally live a brand new, very different life in the same lifetime. Two lives, in a sense, and it's in the same lifetime, right? We're the only ones that have ever gotten this opportunity, those of us alive on Earth right now. So what do you want that reset to look like? And tonight, I highly suggest you have a very clear picture of that, an idea of that, and that you make sure your thoughts and words are centered around that and actions for the next 10 days at least. All right, do a vision board, whatever you normally do to intention set, make it cement in your brain, like lots of meditation and visualizing already being who you want to be in this reset, or having the life you want to have, but I mean on a collective level, living in a world we want to live in. What does that look like? You know, for me, the number one thing would be peace. Call me crazy, but that would be my number one. Doesn't mean I'm right or whatever. You can have whatever you want in that space, but peace globally sounds pretty great to me, especially when you consider how connected we all are. All right, let's get some tarot messages here for the collective, please. Best and highest messages. What does the collective need to hear during this new moon in Cancer and on the eve of the great reset of civilization? Bottom of the deck, the sun, very Leo energy, Jupiter in Leo is a part of the 4 placements I was telling you about that are sparking this reset in, for civilization. Uranus in Gemini, Jupiter in Leo, Pluto in Aquarius, and Neptune in Aries will all be aspecting at 4 degrees. Those 4 planets at 4 degrees, and that's what starts it all. Hi, how are you? I love you, I miss you. Next, you've got the 3 of coins, the literal card of collective consciousness and community, right? We got to keep that in our forefront right now. What else do you have for the collective? What do they need to know? Flying across the room. 10 of Wands, the end of burden, the end of a burden, the end of carrying around old shit that's weighing you down, that you just can't carry anymore or shouldn't have to. Remember, Cancer moons are very emotional, very emo moon. So if you're processing a lot of emo, let it happen. We have the 4 of Wands, the magical number 4. This is my marriage card, but it's also my card of building from a stable foundation, which is what all of this reset is about, right? Like we just said, the number 4. You also have the Fool and the 3 of Swords. So 3 of Swords is disappointment. It's heartbreak, right? Like ultimate heartbreak. But the Fool is a brand new start. This is day 1. There's our new beginning. So there may be some pain. There may have been some things leaving your life, people leaving your life. You may have had to say goodbye to a lot of people. I moved multiple states away from my entire family and all my closest friends. Was that easy? No. But I knew that Spirit was guiding me here for a reason. I knew I was meant to be here. So, not super easy. I know my kids are adults now, but it doesn't make it easy. It's hella not easy. So there may be some things that you had to let go of and say goodbye to approach and embrace this new beginning. Just let it happen. It's the best thing you could do. You can't have the new start without clearing space. And then you have 6 of Wands, the Hierophant. That I can't tell you how powerful of a combination this is. All right, the Hierophant represents spiritual awakening. In 15th century Italy, when tarot was created, that was the Pope, right? Nothing more spiritually connected to the Pope in Italy, right? Back then, even now. But it also represents tradition, contracts, things like that. The 6 of Wands is a victory. It's an absolute guaranteed victory. It's you being sort of celebrated as a hero and just victorious. We have the Queen of Swords, who is all about truth, speaks her truth, doesn't sugarcoat anything. She is no bullshit, right? Maybe not super warm and fuzzy, but she is real and she seeks truth and speaks her truth, lives very authentic. She's always authentically herself. 2 of Swords, the Tower, the High Priestess, 6 of Cups. All right. So in addition to all of this astrology and energy going on right now, Mercury is in retrograde, Neptune is in retrograde, and the day after the reset sort of finishes, like I think it's the 26th, Saturn will retrograde. Pluto is also in retrograde, which is the transformation, right, planet. 6 of Cups is something coming back around. It's a nostalgic energy. It could be something from childhood, inner child stuff, a person coming back from the past. There may be a lot of that going on right now, and it may be causing a 2 of Swords, Tower, High Priestess, right? That's also a very strong energy. 2 of Swords is having to make a decision, right? Having to choose between 2 paths while we're on a blindfold. You can't see where either of them lead. You don't know where you're going. You got to go on faith. The Tower is your entire existence and reality as you know it, falling apart and burning to the ground, which gives you the opportunity to be a phoenix and rise and be reborn. How do you want to be reborn? What does that look like for you? You're building your reality minute by minute right now. I'm not kidding. Go watch the fucking Matrix, all right? It's all a simulation. What is yours gonna look like? All right? And the High Priestess, who is the Hierophant in, divine feminine version of the Hierophant, who's the divine masculine, the High Priestess is the most spiritually connected, powerful, integrated her light and dark perfectly, lives in perfect duality, right? Archetype in all of tarot. Very psychic, very intuitive, but she also represents the unknown. She represents the mystery, something unseen, something in the hidden. So a secret is about to be revealed that will tell you why this tower happened, why these choices came up, why this energy came back from the past, because something wasn't healed and it needs to be. The Emperor is at the bottom of the deck, Aries energy. It's also card number 4. So for some of y'all, this could be about an authority figure or a father figure, an older male, you know, masculine energy, okay? 7 of Swords is behind that. That's a lie. 7 of Swords is a straight up lie. There's a lie here that you believed all your life, or that you were built on, raised on, whatever your foundation was made from. And it's about to crumble, okay? And you're gonna see the truth of something, right? Like you believed that you were not capable of X, Y, Z because your whole life everybody said you weren't, whatever. It's something like that, okay? That's just an example. It's a collective message. It's gonna be different for everybody. But this is gonna be hella positive, and powerful. Hella powerful for all of you, okay? So if you're struggling through this when all of this hits, please reach out.